Taking none.
What's up, guys? It's Kayla, also known as Nola K. But man, this game, right when I thought the worst was in the past, we left everything gone. We were flipping a new page. Everybody was healthy for the first time this entire season. Of course. Like, this season is just insane, honestly. It's insane that we're winning. We've won 6 straight now. It's insane we keep finding a way to win without our key players, which I'm super excited and happy about. But obviously, Drew Brees went down. A couple other people went down, but came back. I know Chauncey went down, or CJ Gardner-Johnson. Marshon went down for a bit. Obviously, Tre'Quan Smith, he had a concussion, and so did Josh Hill. And some other people stepped out for this game and returned. But Drew Brees, obviously, he took a big hit. When I saw that and the way the guy kind of like went on him and he was kind of slow to get up, it just looked nasty. It looked really bad, and like it just looked weird. Like he was kind of like uncomfortable. But yeah, they're saying it's a rib injury, and I've also heard his back was frustrating him or aggravating him. Obviously, Drew Brees closed out the half. He got the touchdown to Kamara, but he did not return in the second half. Jameis Winston took over. But man, my prayers are for Drew. Last year, obviously, he missed, I think, 5 games. Teddy stepped up. We're going to have to see what Jameis Winston has in the tank. Again, we don't know how long this is going to take or how long his recovery will take. We will probably find that out this week, but he just looked so sad on the sideline. Like, I just hated looking at him on the sideline. He looked helpless. Like, he just looked so angry, sad, and it was just horrible. I got sad looking at him. But like I said, regardless, the Saints got the W, and we're going to be talking about that. So for the first half that Drew Brees did play in, he was 8 for 13 with 76 yards and 1 touchdown. The offense was a little bit shaky at first. The first possession, I remember Drew Brees missed the pass with Michael Thomas. He didn't throw it where it needed to be. Usually they connect 10 out of 10 when it comes to that play, but they just didn't. I remember Jared Cook dropped the ball, and I remember when we were about to get the ball back, I think it was going to be our second possession after the defense made a stop. Deonte Harris muffed and fumbled the ball, so that was just really bad. Deonte Harris muffed the ball 2 times, and they eventually took him out and had Kamara back in the backfield. But he did have a very nice run for one of the punt returns. But yeah, the offense was kind of slow. I didn't really see Emmanuel. I think Emmanuel had 1 catch this game, which is insane. But I know this. If Drew Brees would have stayed in and like that play where he got sacked and injured himself, if that would have never happened, I feel like the second half the offense would have been cooking, because that final drive before the half, I mean, we got the touchdown, and the offense looked really good that drive, and I think the drive before that. So I know if Drew Brees stayed in, for sure, our offense would have been cooking. I just expected that our offense would be hot and explosive like it was Sunday Night Football against the Bucs. I just thought that, but obviously not. As we know, Tre'Quan, I think I mentioned that. Tre'Quan Smith, he had a concussion, and then Josh Hill had a concussion. I mean, it was just injuries on injuries. So if you told me that Jameis Winston was going to be the starting QB for the second half and to the end of the game, I would have been like, we were up that much that we decided to rush Drew and put Jameis in? Never would have thought this, honestly. But Jameis, he got thrown into the fire, so I'm not going to really evaluate, what he did. But his stats are, he was 6 for 10, 63 yards, 0 touchdowns, but he got sacked twice, which, yeah, that was a bad series. I think we were at the red zone, and he was trying to get a touchdown. He just stood in the pocket too long, crashed into like one of our offensive line, couldn't get rid of the ball. It was like, I mean, I'd rather that than him throw an interception, which he almost did, I think, twice. So I was a little bit nervous, but I knew that we could win the game. I feel like as long as he didn't have any turnovers specifically, that we'd be fine. Hand the ball to Kamara, throw a couple quick passes, then we would be good. But for Jameis's start that he didn't even know he would be starting in, I thought he did pretty good. Obviously, we'll see if he'll most likely, I don't see Drew probably playing next week or this week. So he'll have more reps and just have a better feel for this team. But, I mean, I can't really grade him. I hope just moving forward, how long that's going to be, whatever, that I think Jameis will probably have a better, performance than he did just that second half for sure. I think he can be a very good quarterback. He has the arm. He can run and move outside the pocket. I mean, he can connect to receivers, tight ends. The only problem is the turnovers, interceptions, and things like that. But I might make another video about this later this week about, depending what news we get from Drew, I might make another video this week discussing this. However, we again had 3 quarterbacks in just like last game. Of course, Taysom Hill, I didn't think Taysom had the best game. The fumble was probably what decided it all. Just like the Green Bay game, we're about to drive, about to win, and then Taysom fumbles. Same thing happens here. We were probably going to seal the deal on this game, but Taysom ended up fumbling, and he got the first down, but, fumbled. I thought he had a nice couple runs, but I remember on a 3rd and 2 in particular, Sean Payton had him in the backfield. I believe this is when Jameis was starting at quarterback. And, he ran and we didn't get it. I mean, it's kind of predictable, but actually in the passing game, I remember seeing on the screen Jared Cook was wide open, and there was a pass to Emmanuel on I think the right side of the field that he could have thrown to, but he just stood in the pocket, and I think that's when he got sacked. I mean, it's been too many times this year where we've seen people wide open and Taysom can't make the read. So I was just thinking, I'd rather Jameis as our starting quarterback, moving forward with this whole Drew Brees thing. I think Jameis is the right fit. He was obviously a starting quarterback last year and has been for many years. I think even in his college days. So, yeah, I think Jameis is definitely the right move. Obviously, put Taysom in on 1st, 2nd, but on 3rd downs, I just don't like it. It's too crucial. And I think at that time we needed Jameis to kind of cook so he can get a better connection with all the receivers. But rushing, oh wow, Murray actually had more carries than Kamara, just by 1. But Murray had 9 carries for 57 yards, and obviously Kamara, how did I not even mention him yet? Kamara, oh my gosh, I think he had 3 touchdowns total, I believe. I think he had 3 touchdowns total. But for rushing, he had 2 touchdowns. He had 8 carries for 15 yards. Not really big on the ground game. Murray actually had more yards. I think I said that. 9 carries, 57 yards. Taysom Hill had 8 carries for 45 yards, which is pretty good. And, yeah, that's about it. But Alvin Kamara, doing it all. I mean, this dude is insane. He's just a spark, and honestly, moving forward, again, with this whole Drew Brees thing, I don't really expect him to be back next week at all. I think we play the Falcons, yeah. No matter what the situation is, I just don't see him being back. So I think we're going to have to really rely on Kamara and Murray, and, yeah. But for the receiving game, Kamara was our leading receiver, which I'm not surprised because I did not see Emmanuel Sanders barely at all, and I was right. He only had 1 catch. But for the receiving game, Alvin Kamara, 7 receptions, 83 yards, 1 touchdown. Michael Thomas, 2 receptions, only 2. I thought he had 4. But anyways, Michael Thomas, 2 receptions, 27 yards. Deonte Harris, 4 receptions, 24 yards. Emmanuel Sanders, 1 reception for 5 yards. Jared Cook, 0. Tre'Quan, we understand why, 0. But who knows what would happen in the second half if Drew Brees would have stayed. Obviously, the numbers are kind of deflated because of the situation we were in. So I don't really know what to think necessarily, but all I know is that Alvin Kamara is literally kind of carrying this team right now. He has been this entire season. He's literally amazing. Should be for MVP. Oh, yeah, right when Drew Brees, actually people thought he should be an MVP candidate, this happens. Insane. It's kind of crazy. But I'm going to go over to the defense because the defense was really struggling at first. And honestly, they helped us win this game. And so did special teams with Callaway recovering those two muffed fumbles from the 49ers. He was in the right place at the right time for sure. But man, the defense, kind of disappointed when the first drive that 49ers had, they went right in and scored, and I was like, we were playing really soft, we were letting them do whatever they wanted to do to us, to be honest. It was just missed tackles. Missed tackles was a huge thing. I saw Chauncey, he had not the roughing the passer, but unnecessary roughness and just dumb penalties that went against us. Nick Mullens did whatever he wanted to in that first drive. And, we were just playing really soft and too soft for my liking. Missed tackles, set flags. But, yeah, we eventually tied it up. I kind of expected a just explosive defense right from the jump, just like I did for the Saints offense. I thought they would come out and just be on it, but it took a little adjusting. Dennis Allen is really good with his adjustments, particularly in the second half. He makes great adjustments, and the Saints had, I think, 2 interceptions. The first one, Malcolm Jenkins, he just read it. He saw it. He was being patient, looked at the quarterback, intercepted it. And P-Rob, in the place of, I didn't even think I mentioned Marshon. He had an injury. I'm not even sure if he returned to the game, but in the place of Lattimore, Patrick Robertson, who also had an end zone, I think, interception. I forgot what game. I think against the Lions. He had another one this game, which was the game sealer. I think after Taysom Hill fumbled, that was wraps. It was over. Beautiful, beautiful interception, honestly. P-Rob, he deserves some respect. Just starting in and just doing that was pretty good. Chauncey was struggling at first, but he came up big. He had some nice tackles. I don't know if he had tackles for loss, but he, I think, even got a sack, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he got 1 sack and 2 tackles for loss. So that dude was all over the field, and Demario Davis was all over the field. He had 3 tackles for loss and 1 sack. I did see Kwon Alexander a couple snaps. I think he had a play. I can't really remember. Marcus Williams had a chance to get an interception as well. He just dropped it, which, I gave him credit. I was like, if anything, Marcus Williams is good at, picking off interceptions. And if it's in his hands, he usually catches it. But I think it's 2 times in a row, last week and this week, that Malcolm Jenkins had interceptions. So good on him. For the part that I did see Lattimore in, I don't exactly remember when he went out, but I didn't see anything that bad. Janoris Jenkins, I didn't see anything that bad, besides the first quarter and the second quarter, but we buckled down. We had some pressure. The most frustrating part, I think this came in the 3rd or 4th quarter. Well, this was always throughout this entire game and other games. When we're so close, when we're getting pressure and we're so close to sacking the quarterback, and the quarterback throws a pass and it gets completed. That's literally the most frustrating thing ever, because you were right there. Or a couple of times I've seen Marcus Davenport fall on the ground, and I'm just like, it's so frustrating because you were right there and then they just complete a pass. That happened this week. That happened against the Chargers. Pretty sure it happens every week, but it's literally so frustrating. But that happened. Yeah, I think they were getting pressure, just not hitting home exactly. Like I said, they buckled down. They stopped when it mattered most, and I'm honestly proud of this defense because if they did not switch up how they were playing in the first half, definitely would have been harder to win this game, or we probably wouldn't have won it at all. Thanks to the defense, which, yeah, they seriously stepped up. They just look pretty impressive right now. I'm happy with that side of the ball. We were getting pressure, but not hitting home exactly. Sometimes there's just too much time, but we were getting pressure. It was just somewhat pressure, I should say. It wasn't really that dramatic. It seems like our pass rush has been kind of inconsistent a bit. Like during the Panthers game, Teddy was comfortable. He really didn't care. Like he just stood in the pocket and delivered some nice throws, which I think he got banged up, by the way. So prayers for Teddy as well. But yeah, and then again we got 2 interceptions, which I'm really happy about the turnovers. We haven't been getting a lot of turnovers, interceptions especially before the Tampa game. So I'm glad we're going in that trend. So I remember looking in the first quarter, I think the 49ers had like 13 minutes, 14 minutes time of possession, and the Saints only had like a minute or 2 time of possession, which is really not good. Usually if you win time of possession, you win the game. But the 49ers still won time of possession, 32-27. So yeah, that's that. But something that really does need to change moving forward, the Saints were 2 for 12 with third down efficiency, which is not good whatsoever. I did not know it was that low, but it was. The 49ers were 7 for 16, but 2 for 12 for the Saints offensively. That is not a good stat whatsoever. Yeah, it really does not look good. But something that is good is that we were 3 for 4 in the red zone, so I will take that. But for the 49ers, they were 1 for 3. So good performance by the defense in the red zone and good performance by the offense in the red zone. And just in case you wanted to know, Nick Mullens' stats were 24 for 38, 247 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 2 sacks. And yeah, but that wraps up this video. Like I said, I think regarding the situation, I think I'm going to make another video before the prediction video for the Atlanta Falcons because it's obviously a big story. This week is going to say a lot or tell us a lot about the Saints quarterback position as of now. Kind of don't want to hear the news, but obviously we're going to have to get it. It's not looking so good for Drew. I looked at some of the interviews with Sean Payton and Drew talking about it. I mean, the way he was just talking just looks like sad and depressed, as I said, but doesn't necessarily look good. Hopefully he'll shake it off, but he's gonna have an MRI and get that checked out, and we'll see. It concerns me. I think he said his back and ribs were bothering him, so yeah, and you have the shoulder that he's kind of bothering him too. So it's not looking that great, but again, I'll check in. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys thought about this game. Let me know if you're worried about Drew Brees or any other player that went down. What you think about the offense, defense, and let me know if you're ready for the Falcons this week coming up. Should be fun. Yeah, but thank you guys for watching, and who dat?